Alright, so this is going to be my week 2 game for the BattleTech TCG League that was hosted by the BattleTech TCG Facebook group. My opponent today is going to be Luca, who is from Australia, so we're on opposite sides of the planet. Wonders of playing online. But Luca does not have a mic, and so I'll be kind of trying to narrate through so you guys can follow along, but you can also always follow the dialogue box at the bottom here to see what's happening. And so Luca's saying hi there. And we both have our decks loaded and we're ready to go. And we're going to roll to see who goes first, or at least who gets to choose whether they go first or second. I rolled a 5. And Luca rolls a 6, so he gets to choose. And Luca has decided to go second. Got a decent hand except for the absence of an assembly. I'm going to go ahead and keep. And Luca's going to keep as well. And it looks like my gamble paid off, so I have an assembly. And I'll be done. And I played that assembly instead of logistic just because the logistic does give away a little bit of info about what I'm going to be playing, whereas assembly is pretty ubiquitous. And it looks like we have an assembly and a war funds. And Luca ends its turn. Play some logistics, and I'll also put a dasher on the table to go ahead and pop that stockpile for 2. That dasher will move directly to the patrol region as his ability dictates, and I'm going to attack the stockpile for 3 damage. And I'll turn the turn over to Luca. So that war funds is 7, so once I get this elemental point out, it's going to have that 3+ AP, so I'll be able to start hunting resources. I'll go right for that war funds unless he gets something out this turn. He's got a tactics and a fire falcon. And the turn is mine. Untap first, draw my cards. Sorry. He does have that fire falcon out. It's going to be a little bit tricky to hunt. I'm going to leave myself vulnerable. He does only have 3 to tap, whereas it might be valuable for me to take out one of those resources, certainly the assembly. He will be able to defend. I could play a risky combat jump. I'll go ahead and put this assembly out on the table. I'll play a skirmisher elemental point. So I'll go ahead and end the turn. So Luca has a second tactics out. So we have a card out with 4 construction counters on it. And the turn is mine. I'll put out a think tank and a dragonfly. Fully constructed. I'm not going to attack this turn because I don't want to do a mech trade at this point. Actually, I will go ahead and attack. I'm going to go ahead and attack that war funds. Looks like Luca is defending with that fire falcon. And he has initiative. I'll go ahead and jump with the elementals to tie initiative. So right now he has +1 initiative because he has tactics on the board and I do not. But with the tie I will win. That'll force him to decide what he's going to do first. He's playing Steel Talons, not a surprise there. Rolled a 3, so that is going to remove my mech from battle. So Luca wanted to go ahead and remove the elemental, but the Steel Talons does specifically target a mech, and so he's going to have to use it on the dasher. I'm trying to figure out if the elemental automatically leaves battle because of that, because the elemental has to be tied to the mech. Okay, Luca's saying that it stays in battle. And I'm going to go ahead and play risky combat jump. And I'll roll a die. Result is 2. So I receive 1 other damage. So unfortunately that kills him, but I do return the card back to my hand. And then this guy goes to the top of the scrap heap because he is dead. So I will move my dragonfly up into the patrol region and turn the turn over to Luca. So it looks like Luca is using his war funds to retrieve a resource card from his stockpile. That is why I was hoping to take out war funds last turn, but it was not meant to be. Guessing he's going to go for something like an improved construction facilities. Oh, interesting. So it looks like he pulled a support logistics. It's indicative of what he's building. Looks like he's trying to kind of avoid some buyouts for whatever that card is under construction. Got a black lantern coming out. And the turn is mine. Draw 2 cards. 2 resources, that could be helpful. Let's go ahead and deploy a Dragonfly here. We'll deploy the Dragonfly Prime, or Dragonfly B. And then I'm going to go ahead and scrap that Think Tank to get tactics. And let's try to hunt some resources, so this will certainly force him into a battle. He does have that Black Lantern, which is 8. I could bring it in with the Dragonfly and the Dasher for a total of 6. And then I do have that Risky Combat Jump, which he does know that I have. But that will get me up over that 9 to take out a mech. So I might be able to do a pretty good trade here. So we're going to attack his logistics. Alright, Luca is going to block with all. So we have a Black Lantern, Fire Falcon B, and the Blitzkrieg Elemental Point that are going to be defending. So it's a total of 11 damage. He does have the ECM that does give him an extra armor for each of these units. Fortunately, I can deal 9, assuming I get that Risky Combat Jump, and 3. Alright, so by him jumping, it's going to force me to jump as well in order to retain initiative, which I'm not going to do this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and play my Risky Combat Jump on the Dragonfly and hope for a good roll. Roll to 5, so I'm at +3. So I'm going to go 9 damage to that Black Lantern and hopefully take it out. Alright, so we took out his Black Lantern. Both of mine are dead. We're going to move that Dragonfly into the patrol region and turn the turn over to Luca. Merchant Cast. We're definitely going to want to get rid of that card ASAP. Alright, so we have Merchant Cast here. You guys can read that on the screen. And then we use that to play Jade Falcon High Command. And we see a Berserk Elemental Point on the table now. And attacking the stockpile. And I need to keep the mech advantage here, so I'm going to go ahead and let that go through. So that'll be 7, possibly 8 damage coming to the stockpile. 8. And the turn is mine. So I'm going to go ahead and tap that to get a Skirmisher Elemental Point out. I'm going to get a face down Dragonfly. Put 3 on it. So I overheat to do a 1 to kill off that elemental. Do a 1 to myself plus the 3 from his elemental. Fortunately, I don't take damage because its elemental can't block without an Omni-Mech. I'm definitely in a vulnerable position here. He could definitely tap. He could definitely come after anything on my board here, but if he does that, he will leave his region undefeated unless he can construct that mech that is face down, or whatever that card is that's face down right now. Got another Black Lantern on the table. Attacking my stockpile. 7 damage. And the turn comes to me. Alright, let's see if we can turn this around. So we're done with that construction of the Dragonfly. Let's go ahead and put out another resource so I can get another Dragonfly on the table here. And alright, 2 Dragonflies incoming. So I definitely want to take out one of these resources here. I can take out that assembly. I do have that forged mission orders. I think this is a good time to play it. So let's do so. Alright, so I used the forged mission orders on his Black Lanner to get that out of battle, so I went ahead and destroyed that assembly. I will go ahead and move these dragonflies into my patrol region and end my turn. So there was an assembly waiting there to come out, but fortunately I forced him to play that, which probably wasn't his first choice for deployment in this turn. I do have enough units now that I can go after that merchant cast. May have been better to save that forged mission orders for that attack on the merchant cast, but we'll see. Reveals a Thor M. So fortunately now I have enough mechs on the table that he does have some hesitation to attack, because it will leave himself vulnerable up into a return attack if I let him go through. And we repair 1 damage on the Fire Falcon. And we got Marth Pride on the board, moving that Thor M to the patrol region, and the turn is mine. And let's put out a strip mining operation. It'll give me a little extra deployment. Let's go ahead and put a dragonfly out. And I lost the opportunity to use that skirmisher to take out the Fire Falcon. It's kind of a novice mistake there of not realizing the ability. If I do get another skirmisher out though, I can kind of pick him off. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go for that stockpile and try to force him to block with that Black Lantern and use that risky combat jump to take it out. So let's see if this works. If not, then I can take out another mech. So we're not sure if I misrecorded the damage on this dragonfly. Luca is thinking that maybe there was 5 damage dealt by the Black Lantern, but I believe Forged Mission Orders would have removed him and he would not have dealt damage that turn. Alright, let's send another attack at his Thor M. And Luca's going to be blocking with all. He's got initiative. I'm going to use a risky combat jump here. And hope to kill something. And I got a 6, so I got a +3 attack here and receiving -2 damage. And I'm going to go ahead and try to target that Black Lantern. So I'm sending 9 of my damage to the Lantern, and then I have 2 extra that I can use from Overheat. I'm going to send that to the Elementals, and I'm overheating just because he's dealing, I think, 15 damage to me. So both of my guys are going to die no matter what. I'll move my Dragonfly to the patrol region and turn the turn over to Luca. Alright, so hopefully that'll pay off. You know, I wanted to get Marth and that big mech off the deck. Now we're even on our units, and let's see if I can kind of pull some momentum here and get the advantage. Looking at another elemental point. A Berserk. Berserk is a little bit dangerous because of that ability to scrap a mech that gets structural damage. Alright, so he's coming at my stockpile. I can block. My mech will die if I do block, but I can't take out that elemental point. Gonna go ahead and split that damage just because I don't think he has anything that he's going to want to do to try to save the elemental. Got the overrun. Not unexpected. So I'll come back. So at least we got rid of that elemental point. So I'm only going to take 6 damage from that. So I assume he's going to send that back at me. Oh, elemental point. Good play. I like it. Yeah, get rid of that elemental. Interesting. Alright, clearing the board. Let's do it. And let's hope for some like a dasher. no dasher, just resources. Let's go ahead and play those. And turn the turn over. And another black lantern onto the battlefield. Alright, I can take out that Thor. I think that might be worthwhile. I'll block with both, dealing 8 damage to the Thor. So that's 3+1 from the Blitzkrieg elemental point, that +1 coming from his ability, and then the Dragonfly dealing 4. That's not helpful. Alright, gonna take a little bit of a hit this turn. Hopefully I can bounce back. Now I do have 6 dashers and I haven't seen more than 1 in my hand, so if he does attack me, hopefully I can get a dasher out next turn and throw some elementals on it. Take out something like a merchant cast. Got the big boy out. That's what we were trying to prevent. Alright, 9 damage to the scrap heap. Turkina comes in the patrol region, and the turn should be turning over to me. Alright, let's hope I draw something worthwhile here. Not really. Alright. Let's deploy those and turn the turn over. Got another Thor M and Berserker on the table, using that merchant cast to get an assembly for a free deploy. Let's have it those. Alright. Down to 2. I think this game is decided, but let's go ahead and play it out. And that's it. So, good game from Luca there. Couldn't really get ahead of his momentum. Surprising given the size of my units versus the size of his. That merchant cast is a powerful card though. Alright, so there's game 2. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit more from that game. Definitely put your comments down below and share your thoughts. Any input for either of us I'm sure would be much appreciated by the players. And in the meantime, happy playing, and we'll catch you on the next episode.